I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. And now we welcome to the podcast, JustJack. Hi, Jack.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, I'm JustJack. I'm a streamer for fun. I am a toon tuber. It's a little bit different from a VTuber. I don't have the whole facial tracking thing. But I don't really have too much of a goal in mind. I just like to stream and talk to people when I play games.
That's been your goal from the start?
Well, I've been on and off streaming for about 7 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then I think I did want to do it as a job, but now that I'm older and I have a job, it's just not something that's viable for me. So I just do it for fun.
So when you got started as a Let's Play type of person?
Yeah, it was just Let's Plays. God, when I was a kid, I think I did dance videos with my younger sister. I mean, everybody's got a start for something, but
There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you're enjoying yourself.
There's no one's gonna be able to find that video.
So our task is now to find those videos.
Oh well, there's the Wayback Machine for a reason.
Oh boy, I don't even want to know what I've got back there at this point for all these years. So when you got started, was it just you wanted to explore how many people you could get to watch, or what really brought you to streaming in the first place?
Well, like back in like 2017, it was kind of, everybody's dream to make it big on YouTube and get everybody to watch you and make money, and basically just your only job was just to play video games and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that's easy to accomplish, because the job isn't to play video games and get money. The job is to entertain the mass, and hopefully the YouTube and Twitch gods like you enough to give you money for that.
Yeah. There's an algorithms and all that stuff that put together, and there is you have to do some marketing too, and get yourself out there, and so you don't have to rely so much on luck. And even then, there's still luck involved. Getting in the right place at the right time. Did you go all out early on, trying to get as much of an audience as possible, or did you come in just to enjoy yourself?
Oh no, I've always done something that I felt like doing. I never understood the algorithm.
Yeah.
So whenever I stream something, I don't care if it's one person, -500, or 1,000 people. I'm just there to have fun playing the game. But it's more fun for me when there's actually somebody in my chat and I can talk to them. Those are the reasons I stream. Not for making that money, but so that way, whenever I'm playing, I can randomly meet new people and have somebody to talk to while I'm playing games. Even if I'm in a call talking to somebody else, I do think it's cool to meet new people while playing games.
Oh, and all over the world too. You're not restricted. Your audience isn't restricted by anything other than, do they have internet?
Exactly. Like there was somebody in Russia that came into my Twitch chat like a week ago, and they were asking me, do I squash bugs? And we had this whole long conversation about like, what if the bug had a family, or blah blah blah. And then they finally asked me to like squash a bug like Men in Black and put it up on YouTube. And I didn't put it up on YouTube, but I sent them just a photo or a video of me recording myself stomping on a roach, and I sent it their way.
Well, some people have different tastes.
Yeah, it's somebody's that's somebody's content out there. My foot is out there.
That settles that covers a whole lot of audiences.
Oh yeah.
But the
Should have put like a copyright on the bottom right hand
That's
corner.
that's right. Put a watermark on there, so they can't claim it as their own. Um, so when you got started, did it take you very long to get an audience back then?
Oh, back then I didn't really have an audience at all. I'm pretty sure it was like 13 subscribers,
Mm.
most of them probably being family and friends.
Yeah,
So it wasn't until recently I actually started getting a little bit of a following. I
yeah.
think I'm at 237 subscribers now, and it really all just kind of flooded in from a repo video I did.
Mm. Repo seems to be very popular these days. What draws you to it?
Well, I thought it was crazy that if you're playing repo by yourself,
Mm.
it's actually scary. But if you're playing with friends, it is the stupidest game in the world. So, and I think I've only made like two videos on it. I've done some streams with it. God, I think the most thing I spent my time on recently was playing Final Fantasy VII.
Mm.
I think that took away 2 weeks of my life and about, I think I got like almost a day's worth of footage on it.
Oh my gosh. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to go through if you're editing down. That's
Yeah, I threw them up as VODs for now, and then
yeah.
now I'm working on the edited version.
Take your time. And you just put timestamps on there so they can find those places. Might be
Oh
easier.
yeah.
Um, were you when you streamed before you started the VTubing aspect of it? Um, did you do that? Did you stream first and then use the VODs to promote the stream, or did you go
No,
directly to recording first?
I made YouTube videos first
Well, okay.
because I couldn't. I was very shy actually. I was very nervous about going live and trying because I felt like I wasn't talking enough. I couldn't get anybody interested, and then I realized like nobody's watching, so who's there to entertain 24/7? No, I started off whenever I'll call it the electric boogaloo of my channel was the Do You Think series, and that is I want to say is whenever I was 18 and I was working as a waiter.
Mm.
I got super stoned
Mm.
and made the videos are called Do You Think, and I would just come up with questions and also the answers
You
were just
have
right there on the spot. They're awful quality. They have too loud music in the background, but they're one of my favorite videos. It's also when I got really creative with my thumbnails. I like really got into Photoshop around that time.
it's like you're doing everything wrong and it worked.
It's just we'll call it scuffed. I
Yes.
should. Do you think scuffed?
And that did the response from that kind of boost you wanting to do more?
Oh, I just can't go back to those videos without laughing. Uh, I have about. I mean, the response to was mediocre. I mean, I
Yeah,
think I did some shorts on them,
yeah,
and they did really well.
yeah.
Like I think there's one called. I probably shouldn't say that, but
You're giving it away.
yeah, you could check it out on the channel.
Yeah, find it on the channel. We'll have plenty of links you can look up in the description
hmm
for the video here. So, what was the decision for you to switch over to have avatars?
Oh well, I actually have no problem using Facecam myself,
Hmm.
but I like the aspect of tubing because I I'm lazy, right? I don't feel like looking my absolute best 24/7.
Yeah.
And I recently started getting longer hair, so I don't feel like going on a stream or in my hair being really messed up or whatever. I don't have
Yeah.
to worry about pimples, warts, whatever anybody else cares about.
Yeah. Just enjoy your hair while you have it, youngster.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna grow it out super long, totally.
Enjoy it while it's there. I'm waiting for the last bit to go ahead and go away, so I don't have to mess with it. Just,
Oh man,
yeah,
that
but
is that's not what I'm looking forward to.
yeah, and I'll tell you what's even worse: going out in the rain. You get that
Growing up in the rain?
going out in the rain when you have a bald spot on top of your head. That that
Ooh,
rain hits and makes a splat sound, and it's just so chilling. You know
I did.
that rain droplet fell from thousands of feet to hit you square on top of the head.
I was actually bald for a moment in time.
Mm.
I had pre-shaved to go to boot camp,
Oh,
which they say you should never do.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I thought it was really funny
yeah.
because I let my two older sisters do it.
Oh.
So there's a really scuffed video somewhere on the internet of me getting my head shaved and me doing a Lex Luthor impression as I'm still getting shaved.
That's cool. Now, I had a situation where, in my younger days, in radio, where I did a charity pro wrestling event for some folks locally, and the main event, if one person, I was putting up my hair against somebody kissing the flag, and the bad guy won. So I was like, I didn't care, and they'll shave my head, and the kids would get a kick out of it, and what I care. So they get the clippers out and they start in on it, and the clippers die halfway through. So now I've got maybe three-quarters of a shaved head.
I'm sure they got a better kick out of that one.
Oh, they loved it. They got pictures with me and everything, and I figured I'd I'd just go right home with it and see what happens. I pulled up. I said I got to go through a drive-through like this and see what they do. I go right through the Hardee's drive-through, and she looks at me, just doesn't even bat an eye. Here's your food, sir. I'm like,
An average Wednesday.
I was like, wow, they must have really seen everything at this point.
They didn't before, but they did
And they have
now.
now. Um, so with this, getting this, do you feel having the avatar out there gives you a little more freedom to do things, or was that a problem before?
Oh, well, let's see. I mean, whenever I was using my face cam, I had no problem personally just getting up and walking out of the room and like doing whatever I had to do. Just be like, you know what, y'all wait right there. I'll be right back. Uh, but the problem now is that I actually have more people in the house
Yeah.
now, and I don't quite know their preferences on being streamed, but they're very how do you say, keen on just kicking in my door
Oh.
midstream.
Mm,
And in order to keep their privacy, as my streams aren't as empty anymore,
right.
and to save me from having to, edit too much, like having to edit a whole face cam out,
Right.
it's just easier for me to do it. But I'll also still do face cam videos every once in a while. Like if it's something related to my stream, like eventually if I get channel points, somebody like redeeming channel points for me to do push-ups, I'll turn on the damn face cam and they can sit there and watch me do push-ups,
You can do something for
which might
me.
actually.
You can, if you're in good enough shape, you can finish that mile I never finished 4 years ago. 40 years ago.
I think I've ran enough miles for a lifetime.
Then we'll average out. That's good.
But yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I mean, it sounds like you've got a really a unique situation here where you have the avatar, but you don't necessarily mind not having it.
Yeah, it's not that I need it. I mean, I like it. My graphic design artist did a fantastic job with it.
Hmm.
It's very custom.
Yeah.
And if I ever need an outfit change, they could do it on the fly.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to have, but you know what it can't do, and what any VTubing avatar can't do is you can't be really animated in your movement.
Hmm.
Like right now, I know you can't see it, but I'm moving my hands. I'm like my shoulders are slouched.
Right.
It's something very important in show business.
Mm, yeah. Now, yeah, when I look at it is because I was in radio for mm, since you they they used rocks and hammered them together to communicate, um, and we had to learn to communicate with voice inflection and diction and um, well, that type of thing. Um, I kind of compare a lot of the VTubers today to the DJs of old. With they reached to play records, and a lot of folks can go like right now. If someone's playing Minecraft, you can see that on how many hundred different people playing it at once. But they come back for the personality doing it, kind of like they used to do with the old radio DJs, where you could hear the song anywhere you wanted, but you come back with the DJ. Um, so I think a lot of this is comes down to your personality and how you connect with folks. Have you found any hitches in doing that, or has that come easy for you?
Well, it is a little bit harder over the internet to really show off your personality.
Hmm.
But me personally, I'm a teensy bit conflicted on what my personality really is whenever it comes to playing video games because on one side of things, I'm a professional.
Hmm.
I like to play the game and play it well and get the job done.
Well,
But on the other side, I like to make people laugh. But it's hard to tell if you're doing good when you can't hear them laugh.
that's true. That's
I need like
true.
a live studio audience.
Maybe a stream to a live studio audience in front of a crowd. That's but the in that situation, you don't never know when to take the pratfall. I'm winning. I'm winning. I
Hmm.
really want to win, but this would be funny and fall off a bridge or something.
That's why I was thinking about having a second person with me.
Yeah, yeah,
Somebody to talk to makes it easier always.
yeah. I mean, have you done any collaborations? Have been able to?
Oh yeah, I not God, like 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
I was invited to a Minecraft SMP,
Mm,
and I was kind of doing that on and off for a while,
yeah.
but somehow I ended up taking over. Like now, apparently, I'm running the SMP, at least the technical side of things,
Yeah.
because we were playing vanilla, and now we're on modded Minecraft,
Oh, geez.
and
Yeah.
now I'm hearing nothing but questions 24/7.
That didn't come. That wasn't in the contract you signed.
It was not, but apparently I was the most technology adept.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yes, it is.
But with that, and knowing knowing what you're doing with the computer and such coming in, was it tough for you to put um, a good setup together when you started streaming, especially back in 2017?
Oh God, yeah, I was streaming on like a $200 computer I got off of Amazon when I scrounged up enough money. That was oh my, that was awful. It was
So,
so bad, and it wasn't streaming way back in. It was trying to do videos. But my number one battle was I was on RV park Wi-Fi back then.
oh,
Yeah, so I was basically getting a megabyte a second.
oh my gosh.
So if I wanted to record myself playing a video game, I would have to wait 2 weeks for it to download.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's I can't imagine you could have used your computer during that time, and you had to sit and watch it.
And if let's just say if online was a thing that was mandatory in there, I had basically wasted 2 weeks. I should have done the research.
Man alive. It's it's
Oh,
it's hard to imagine nowadays with you turn on your car and you've got some folks have a hotspot in their car or their watch or something. I don't know these days. And it wasn't that long ago where it was kind of tough to even get these things loaded in any particular time.
oh yeah, absolutely. And funny enough, my father was also in IT.
Hmm.
So, but we just never ended up getting super good internet.
Hmm.
It was always that awful shared Wi-Fi.
Yeah. They wouldn't give you the tools. You didn't have the tools.
I never had the tools, but it made me learn. I tried to learn how to optimize the internet that I had,
Like,
and I couldn't do anything
yeah.
with it.
That's the download speeds are pretty amazing. I was telling somebody at work the other day that when the first I was there for the first computers coming out, um, first home computers coming out, and there were 25 million different types of computers back then. And you had your Texas Instruments computers for crying out loud that today you wouldn't even be able to use as a doorstop. Um, but if you were to try to upload a game on, say, an Atari computer, you used a cassette to do it, and it took you
Oh,
20 minutes of playing this cassette in order to upload a game, and hopefully it worked. It was
because the earliest computer I could think of is well, I think like the Macintosh or
mm,
Windows XP. We still using like floppy disks.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I had a Commodore 64 was my first one, which is a pretty good way to get started back then. I mean, that was for its time was really something, and it didn't cost a whole lot, which was also good because I was very young. But I'd say we had a game. And first of all, you can't even play Commodore 64 games now on your computer unless you slow it down to a slow crawl. And if you do, you have to try to upload 7 discs of material to play
Oh,
some of these games.
yeah,
And
no, I don't think I'd ever do that to my computer.
yeah,
It would crap itself.
oh, it would, and we were, of course, we were over the moon. And we grew up with the old Atari 2600 games for crying out loud, and um, so we've seen things come from absolute zero to where they are now. And I always get a kick out of people saying, "Oh, I had a trouble downloading last year." Yeah, well, you try to download when the internet ain't even there. see see how fast it goes. Um,
So how was dial-up?
oh, we had two dial-ups, and um, we had a local service called PrairieNet, which was our dial-up, and you could get into it. And there were two different speeds, and you got to tell which one when the sound came down the phone line. If it was going a little faster, you got the better speed, and you want to hang on that one. If you didn't, then you hung up and called up and tried to get the better feed. It was okay for chat, but it was very it was something else back then, and certainly even 20 years ago, um, this particular medium wouldn't be possible. Uh, if you'd be able to talk to some people, but being able to play games and have other people along with you wouldn't have been possible. Um, have you been able to kind of establish that you are now a entertainer for the masses?
Uh, kind of, yeah. I've kind of gotten down with it. I'm not big by any means, but I enjoy the small little community that I do have.
Mm.
Ev- Eventually, I realized that I did a lot of impressions and accent changing whenever I was younger, and I plan to incorporate that sometime in the future
Mm. Yeah,
because I forgot about that talent, but I use it every day when I go to work.
that's something you don't even realize after a while that you're doing it. I don't have that ability whatsoever. I couldn't. It's
I
folks.
mean, they're probably not good by any means, but they're funny.
Yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing is that you're entertaining yourself and you're entertaining the people there, no matter what you're doing. They're not going to want to stick around if they're not enjoying themselves, or at least if they can tune in and have you on the background. Um, Interacting with your audience right now, is it tough for you to do and keep going on some of these games you're playing?
No, not really. I mean, right now I'm on I'm past Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And when people do tend to pop in, it's more just like a casual conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll bring up a topic, I'll discuss it a little bit. I'll just talk to them about general things that they're wanting to talk about. Then I keep playing the game while I'm doing it. If it's something outrageous, I'll stop what I'm doing and turn on the face game and be like, "Hold on a second, I'm gonna need a minute for this one."
Put up the pause screen. Wait a second here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Um. So how are you promoting your channel right now? Are you using a lot of different sources to do that? Are you kind of funneling things off of like a YouTube to your channel, or are you doing it the other way around, or how are you doing this?
so I kind of do a little mismatch.
Mm.
I'll either do a live stream, cut it down into an actual video. I'll throw up the VOD up there, throw it in my VODs playlist,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I'll just actually just make a YouTube video.
Mm.
But and then in those videos, I'll do a shorts just to throw it out there because I for some reason I get a lot more shorts views than I do YouTube. But I'm not trying to be a shorts content creator. I'm just using it to get people
Right.
to come check out the actual video.
Yeah. Yeah. That's your marketing and advertising right there. Really, is
Yeah, a lot of people
yeah.
say to like to network
Mm.
and like go through Discord and meet more people. And I find that very boring. It's not fun at all. And
Yeah.
my motto for just having fun with this is if I'm not enjoying myself, then it's not a hobby, it's a job.
Mm.
And when you're doing a job you don't like, you don't want to do it at all.
Well, that's right, and it becomes, and there's some for some people they can take it and enjoy themselves that way, and they don't lose that. But I've seen it with many talented people who aren't really interested in making their talent a career necessarily. Is when, say, like artists, if they uh, paint something and somebody says, "Oh, couldn't you paint me these two? Can you paint me this and have it done by this time?" Now it's a job, and all of that freedom that you get doing your hobby now is in a little box, and you have to do it by this certain time, and you're responsible for somebody else's enjoyment, but your own enjoyment gets thrown out the window.
For me, if I was to make this my career and focus solely on content creation, I would wait until my hobby had gotten to a point where I could actually make money from it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would probably hire some people to help me with the less fun parts of it, just so that way
Networking.
I could focus on creating the content and they can get paid to do the job of making sure he gets ready for posting.
I'll be your publicist. We'll just hand out papers all the time. He's streaming
Oh
now.
yeah, I'll go in them streets of New York and be like, "Here's a flyer. Check out my Twitch."
I'm I'm
Buy a
sur-
billboard.
I'm surprised there aren't people doing that. There might be. I don't know. I'm not in New York. It could they could have people on Times Square right now throwing out pamphlets into the wind. Um,
I'll turn it to a live stream. I flew all the way to New York. I went from a southern state to a northern state just to pass out flyers, not even passing them out in my own state.
it's illegal to do it in my state, but here it's perfectly fine.
I went to the land down under. The Australians love my flyers. Look at them, just throwing it on the ground.
Thought tossing them at people as they walk by. Here, take it. Take
paper
these flyers.
paper airplanes.
Yes. Just get in the tallest building in the city and fly your paper airplanes off of it as your advertisement. Um, this entire thing seems like that it's become very comfortable for you. And was it comfortable to start when you first turned the microphone on streaming way back when?
Oh wow. I When I first started streaming, I had already gotten used to talking in front of a mic.
Hmm.
and it's a lot of talking to yourself whenever you're recording videos on YouTube,
Yeah.
and you just have to keep the mental note of, hey, you're recording something,
Yeah.
talk about what you're saying, talk about what you're doing. I've not mastered it, but I've certainly gotten used to it. Like the anxiety of it is gone.
Mm.
Streaming is a whole lot simpler because it's not so much of talking to people when
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people. It's more, this is a really long YouTube video,
And it's
and
actually,
you can have breaks of silence.
yeah, and it's actually easier in a way to do because you're not editing it. And it's also harder to do because you're not editing it.
It's also harder because, for me at least, because I know eventually I have to edit
That's
it down
right.
and get rid of the silence.
Yeah, but if you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants with it in one way or another, because if you put it out there live and you're in a live audience, it's out there. If you say something stupid, you got to live with it. And if you do that and then you catch it in editing and it goes out, no one knows you said it.
I
If you
like to think of it as being a live court jester.
yes.
You are the fool,
Yeah.
but if you can laugh at yourself, then you can laugh with the others.
Yes. Or if sometimes you have to force yourself to laugh, but it helps. It helps
You
if
gotta
you
let it roll off.
yeah, if you don't take yourself too seriously while you're doing it, and you realize why you're there. Sounds like you've got that in Aces. You've got that all set up. You've got a really well prioritized. Am I reading that right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, it's all about the fun.
Mm,
It's all about the game.
mm. Well, with that, what would you like to do that you haven't done yet?
Uh, honestly, at some point, I was actually planning on doing just straight up stand-up comedy,
Mm.
but I've kind of put that off to the side. I mean, I don't have too many hours of the day, so whenever I'm working, I work an 11-hour shift.
Mm.
I get
Yeah,
2 days off, and within those 2 days, I like to just sit and play games and do that.
yeah.
I think in the future, I'm probably going to bring back the Do You Think in better quality.
Well, that can go along with your with doing stand up material. I mean, there's
Absolutely.
people do entire routines with that sort of thing. Um,
That could be my start to actually going out there and then doing a live show.
well, you've you've been in front of audiences before. You've had microphones in front of you for a while. Um, have you gone up and tried doing a stand up in front of people before?
No, I've gone to a lot of shows, but I've never just straight went up there
Mm.
because I wouldn't know what I would want to discuss in my comedy. I mean, I've got plenty of like silly stories of when I was growing up as a kid,
Yeah,
but actual comedy materials, like it's a dangerous world now in the land of comedy and content creation because you're
that's
very
true.
limited on what you can say and what you can joke about
Oh yeah. I mean,
without getting canceled.
there's a
And
lot of
that is
yeah, there's a lot of people you could watch in 1974 that would say jokes on television you can't get away with now.
absolutely, and that's actually kind of the one thing that's hindering me in my content creation is because I got plenty of jokes to say, but the fact that at any point in time it could upset somebody and I could get popular for the wrong reason. I mean,
I mean,
like some of my favorite comedians were like George Carlin, Dave
yeah,
Chappelle.
yeah, yeah, and again, a lot of their stuff. Well, Chappelle, of course, does it now, but the Carlins, your um, Don Rickles, for crying out loud, of all people, he wouldn't have been able to even get started these days with insult comedy and that sort of thing.
I
Um,
feel like George Carlin got away with it because he like earned his reputation
oh
for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like people expect that when they go to his shows, they're like
yeah,
crazy upset old man.
yeah,
Got it.
and he paid his dues to get there. He went through a lot.
Mhm.
There's some old footage of him in a comedy duo. It doesn't even look like him. It's totally different. He came a long way to get where he was. Um, and you, it might take you a while to find what you want to present yourself as too. Yeah, as far as getting up on stage in front of people, it is a little different than having an audience there that you can't see. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, would you be comfortable getting up in front of 40 folks in a nightclub and taking the shot at it?
I probably stutter a few times on the first try, but you only live once. You can only do things a certain amount of times.
Yeah,
Hey,
I can attest to that at this age. Sometimes you can't even do it then. So you get out
oh
there and
yeah.
enjoy it while you can. It sounds like you're really enjoying the VTuber thing, and you're taking it the right amount of seriously right now, and it is it's something that's still bringing you joy.
Yep, just gotta pace it out.
Yeah, yeah, and get around that 11 hour a day job. Good gravy.
Yeah, that would be nice. That's my goal is to eventually get out of that job.
Mm.
It's one of those ones where you work 11 hours, but you get paid an 8-hour salary.
Yeah, I know those. That happened in radio a lot. And I was lucky enough to find one station that actually paid overtime, and then the second one didn't. You just got paid. You were expected to stay for the extra hours, and and then not say anything about it to anybody.
You best not bring it up
Yeah,
if you value your job.
yeah. That's how it worked. But I really appreciate you coming on, Jack. It's great talking with you, and it's good to hear that you're really settled in here and you're comfortable with it. And that's the biggest thing. You're enjoying yourself and you're comfortable, and the folks that are with you are comfortable too.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.